Okay, so you as a client, like, what do you think is the things that you guys hate the most, or things that be like really annoying for you guys as a client?
I got one right off the top of my head. I got one right now. You know, like when you're sitting on the chair, your arms are right here, and for some reason you feel like the barber puts his like right, right on your hands.
That happens a lot. That happens a
Like,
lot. Some barbers they felt like real close to you, like
like
what's
we're
up?
real intimate now. Like, what's up now? Turn on the lights. Let's do something. What's up? That'll be one of
Guys,
those.
listen, the armrests are not really for your arms. Yeah, they're actually there so to block the barber and the customer from coming into contact. so, so remember, keep your hands in your pocket at all times.
So
What's up, guys? It's not your ordinary barber with N.Y.O Barbershop.
what's up, y'all? It's a CT Barber, and here we got a special guest tonight with us here. Introduce yourself.
Hey, what it is, what it do. My name is David. I'm here with the guys. I'm a fellow YouTuber. Here to see what's up.
I will let them know you got a whole podcast as well that you do. That right now it's pretty dope, man. He's got a good following. He gets a lot of views. We're gonna touch on that and talk about that real quick.
Yeah, I started about 2, 3 years ago, right after the pandemic. I didn't start before, cause I don't want people to think that I was just bored. Like I bought all the equipment and I just left it in the house. Like, yo, once it's over, I'm on. I've been doing that, yeah, 2, 3 years. YouTube is harder than like TikTok and Instagram. Like in TikTok, I got a few million views. Instagram, I just got a video last month on like going on to 11 million views now,
Wow.
plus a few other videos. So it's going good. YouTube is a little slower, but I see the progress every day, man.
Now, as far as your topics, like how do you come up with your topics? I know it's not just you. You also have, I think, three other people that you do the show with as well, correct?
Yeah. So when I started with my cousin. He got locked up. So then I moved on to my brother, my brother's best friend, and another friend of us. Um, and from there, like up until now, it's just me with three other people that I met last year.
Okay.
It's insane.
No.
That's is how it moves.
That's great.
Uh, yeah. And then, so how I pick the topics is like I'm trying to talk about things that happen on a regular, like on a regular day life, like every day. It could be corporate stuff, like terms that we don't know how to use them well. Like, what's one I could give you? The intelligence, IA,
Oh, AI, yeah, AI,
AI.
artificial intelligence.
Yeah, like how can that mess up our lives? Like stuff like that I talk about. And then I have another segment now called like talking deep, where we come up to the table and we got nothing to talk about. It just flows.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you is, why do you think that you get more views on TikTok or Instagram? Is it something that you're doing yourself, or is it something that it's just more people are on TikTok?
It's the attention span.
Hmm.
Uh, like our generation, including us, because we're here too. Like I spend, like you could look at your phone. You spend more time on Instagram than any other app because it's shorter content, and you get to view, you get to see a video with an end, middle, and beginning, middle, beginning, and end in less than fucking 17 seconds. Why would not? You feel me?
Yeah, no, you're right.
When in YouTube, it takes you like 30 minutes to know what happened and how it's gonna finish, and like, nigga, if I could do it in 1 minute, why not? You feel me? But that's just the times now, because it's the same exact content. I just put it in different platforms. It's the same content,
Yeah.
and it
Is it-
does different in different platforms. But what I'm doing is like I'm not giving up with YouTube. I'm still posting it because YouTube is funny because when you find an audience, they come little like one by one, but everyone like five come and maybe
They
three
add up.
stay.
Yeah.
Instagram, you get like I'm getting 200 followers every day,
That's dope.
but out of those, they don't always stay. You feel me?
Well, the other thing I noticed too, it's very hard to get people to go from Instagram to YouTube.
They
You
hate it.
They don't. It doesn't make it easy. It's like, first off, the only way to do it is if you put it in your story. So the people that are following you, right? don't click on that link and hit the subscribe,
Yeah.
they're not going to see your YouTube. Then the other thing is if you post a reel or something like that that's like 60 seconds or whatever, or even less than that, you can't post a link to your YouTube. The only thing you could do is probably write down the exact link. They'd have to copy and paste. It's too much work. And like
It's a lot. They make it like that because they want to keep you in their app. That's how they get their money when they advertise. Like software comes to them like, oh, I wanna do a commercial. They be like, listen, I got people on my app for about 4 hours a day. That's all they're trying to sell. There is a way that you could send them directly to your app. It's called a deep link. I used it. It's too expensive. Like I was paying like $10 per hundred per like $10 every hundred, like every hundred tap. Like every time
Okay.
somebody tap 100, it was $10, and it will send them directly to the app.
Oh, okay.
Cause the views don't count when it's through Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, like if you go on YouTube Studio, and you like a regular video, you
Yeah,
see
do
that
it.
like I have a video right now on YouTube that got like 8,000, 7,000. That's on YouTube for everybody to see. But when I go on my YouTube Studio, it's close to 10,000. But those other 3,000, they were probably through a third app, so they don't count.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
messed
I
up.
noticed. I'm sorry. I noticed that it's YouTube is probably the hardest platform to grow.
It is, but it's solid. Once you get there, like you could quit your job.
Yeah.
Like Instagram, Instagram, like you could be hot today and tomorrow you're off the algorithm and you fucked. That's
Yeah.
it. But YouTube, once you build an audience, it could take you up to 8 years. But once you build it, quit your job, you're good.
So which is the platform that like has surprised you the most? YouTube or like there's other ones that
TikTok.
you like better?
TikTok. That's the one that surprised me the most because I don't even reply to comments. I don't do shit there. I just post it and leave.
It kind of grows by itself, right?
Yeah.
Not for nothing. TikTok, I think we got videos from the barbershop alone
His
that
is
have
popping
like
too,
300,000 views, and it's not just one or two. But the problem is they're just views. They're not.
They don't do anything. They don't
people
transform.
following.
They don't transform anywhere.
They
You know,
don't even do anything with TikTok. Like you
Is
don't
it-
promote it or anything like that. And
I don't
it
do
still,
nothing,
like
just
grows
post,
by
man.
itself.
Just post. Just
Just
post.
post.
And you don't know exactly like when it's gonna blow up. All of a sudden your phone just doesn't
Yeah.
stop. You know? and I mean it's pretty dope, but I mean it's everyone talks about like some sort of algorithm that you have to follow. I saw a video, I forgot who it was, on YouTube. He said just forget that algorithm crap and use people.
I was just gonna tell you that.
Yeah,
I
so
stopped-
take the
I stopped using
algorithm.
that word.
Stop using that word and figure out what it is that is gonna catch people's attention. And I think it's starting to work. You know what I mean? And even on YouTube, I have a couple of videos, and I literally, what was it, 4 or 5 months, maybe less than that.
Yeah,
We
probably
we
less
actually
than-
started getting back on the YouTube page, but we have a couple on there that have like almost 2,000 views, and most of them are like you said, short videos, something that gets straight to the point. But I noticed that if you put whatever you're talking about in the video, and when you use your description, and you try to write down something that you're talking about in the video, and make it the same topic as your description, that it picks up a lot faster that way.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
didn't know
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that help you guys is that have you seen like the top 50 niches on YouTube?
No.
Well, what you guys do is like in the top 10. Like
Oh, really?
barbers,
Uh-huh.
like for some reason people fucking like they don't even go to barbers. They like watching people like giving another one a haircut
That's dope.
and talk about it. Then it's like fashion, makeup, tech reviews and stuff like that. But you guys are way up there, so it's like for what I do, I gotta work harder, and I'll probably see money like in like later on, like maybe 4 or 5 years. But what you guys do, if you guys put in good work and give content, like you can get there fast as hell.
That was gonna be my next thing. I'm always talking about these things with them, like we're close and stuff. So I want you to give us the gems, like since you work with that a lot, like what are some marketing ideas that you think will be good for us as barbers?
First I would say like besides the niches, there's like way of doing your content that helps a lot. Like I wish it was as easy as telling you, because I could say it easy as fuck, and then I try to do it, and like I get lazy. But saying it is easy, so I'm gonna tell you if you want to do it as a new. But when you do videos and you make them educational, you put captions that I hate doing because it takes me a long time. Because since I do it in Spanish, fucking the robot doesn't recognize our language. Like if we
Spell correct. Spell
yeah, like if
correction.
we spoke the Mexican Spanish, like we're good. But Dominican,
That proper
they don't.
Spanish.
It
the
doesn't get
Spanish
it.
they teach you in school that nobody really talks. Okay.
Yeah. So
We all got a
do that.
slang.
Make it educational, good audio, which you guys got covered. The caption and like a song that's trending. That will always put your video out there, and at least 2 or 3 times a day.
Now Chris has a topic that he wanted to talk about today. We wanted to talk about customers' experiences in the barbershop, or how the likes and dislikes of things that either happen to customers. I mean, we're barbers, so it's sometimes we forget that aspect, or that we don't see that perspective I'm sorry, from the customer. We try our best to try to keep that view in our head as to what a customer goes through, how a customer may feel, so on and so forth. But I'm gonna take it over to Chris, and he'll start talking about that.
Okay, so you as a client, like, what do you think is the things that you guys hate the most, or things that be like really annoying for you guys as a client?
I got one right off the top of my head. I got one right now. You know, like when you're sitting on the chair, your arms are right here, and for some reason you feel like the barber puts his like right on your hands.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot. Some barbers, they feel like real close to you.
Like
"What's
we're real
up?"
intimate now. Like, what's up now? Turn on the lights. Let's do something. What's up? That'll be
All
one
right,
of
guys,
those.
listen. The armrests are not really for your arms. Yeah, they're actually there so to block the barber and the customer from coming into contact. So remember, keep your hands in your pocket at all times.
Alright, so I got some dots here. So weird environments.
Weird environment.
Have you ever been like a barbershop that's been like a environment like really weird with all these people like
Yeah.
talking about drugs and shit like that?
Yeah, one you used to work at. My bad.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, the one that I started, yeah.
Yo,
Bum, bum, bum.
some dude is giving me a haircut. I don't know his name. I think he was soft that day or something. He goes, "Yo, I like eating ass." I'm like, "Whoa."
He did. Hold on.
Out of nowhere, bro. He goes, "Yo,
Talking
you coming
about-
next week?" I'm like, I don't know, man.
Oh my god.
Yo, crazy, insane. And it was also like, like when you go to a barber and it's like too much going on at the same time. Like they had like girls in the back, and it was like just too much going on, man. Too bright, too many colors. Like it
Kind of
was-
made you dizzy.
yeah, like I felt like I wanted to go home. Like I come here and like I could chill. Like I play dominoes. I even come with my daughter here and I'm chilling. Like literally, I'm chilling. Other barbershops you go to, like you don't know if it's a fight popping up. The music is too loud. Like you don't feel like you want to stay there. You feel me?
No, I got you.
I just want to get the fuck out.
How about you, Jose? You have any like weird experiences like with barbershops?
As far
Like,
as
weird environment experiences, like
yeah, no,
What
of
do you
course. Yeah, weird experience. I used to work in the shop where customers used to tell me all the time that it was kind of like, it felt like 2 different barbershops. It's weird, but
why?
the way it was set up was there was one barber in the front, and I was all the way in the back, and there was a wall, a half a wall, kind of stopping everything. So just imagine you walking through the door, there was a wall. I'm sorry, you walk through the door, there's two barber chairs, then there's a half a wall with the bathroom, and then another 3 barber chairs in the back.
I think I went there a couple times.
Yeah, so you walk in and you're kind of like, okay, now you only have 2 or 3 barbers in that barber shop, and it just feels
So
like
let me ask you something. So I think that's the first where I got my haircut with Louis, right?
Yeah.
So it was never divided intentional.
no.
I thought they had the Spanish side.
Yeah, you know how many people said the same exact. I didn't want to say it, bro.
That's what I
But they
thought.
said the same exact thing.
That's what I thought. You got they got it like that, so they could listen to music over here and do something else over here. That's what I thought.
And that's basically
Like even the colors were different.
yeah.
completely
The
different.
brightness was
Oh,
different.
But
my
I
God.
thought it was intentional. I even thought it was smart. Like, yo, let's keep this over here. Let's keep those over there. Like, let's segregate it. That's what I thought.
Yeah, seriously,
See,
the brightness was different. There was more lights in the back.
Yeah. Like,
That
you
was
go
a
back there,
jail.
it was a whole different vibe back
It
there.
looked like a
Yeah.
jail type. So.
Yeah, no. And then you had times where it was like, the waiting area was up in the front, So
And the conversation they would have, like, you come out, they're like, yeah, man. Like, on some deep shit, like, yeah, man. I had some Martians last night. It's like, what? It was weird.
now it did feel that way. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you
know?
told me there was a shooting there too.
Yeah, there was not in the
was
shop. Let's get that. That was
outside.
outside the shop with one of the barbers. I'm not gonna name no names, but over something stupid. Over something
Crazy.
stupid like it usually is, but I'm cutting, right? I'm literally cutting. I got 3 people waiting. I actually had my son in the shop, which was nuts. And it was about closing time. I'm like, look, I got 3 people waiting. I'm not gonna take any more. So I told my son, go outside, get that barber flag, bring it in, and turn the sign around. All of a sudden, I look over and my son kind of closed the door again, and was like,
What's wrong?
so I look at him and I'm like, yo, what's up? No, I heard something strange, Dad. And I'm like, all of a sudden my phone starts ringing. Yo, come outside, blah, 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 just hit me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Just hit you. So I go outside and the dude's laying on the floor and I'm like, holy shit. So I help him up. But anyway, long story short, believe it or not, the customers I had waiting there still didn't want to go home, dude.
Yo, that's a good barber. Somebody
Yo,
just got
they
shot,
did
and I
not
worry
wanna
about
go
my
home.
shape up.
I need my haircut, bro. I don't care.
Son, the cops are coming in and out of the barbershop, and I'm like, I'm looking at them. I'm like, fuck, no, excuse whatever, right? But I'm like, yo, I want to go home now. You know what I mean? And they're sitting there like, yo, I still need my haircut. I'm like, oh my god. So lo and behold, I was like, look, I'm not gonna cut you. I'm sorry, man. We gotta go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of the weirdest things that's happened in the barbershop for me,
That's
or
tough.
at the barbershop. Not, it didn't happen in the barbershop, but yeah, that was probably one of the weirdest shits.
Yo, going to a barbershop in Patterson, it's like a extreme sports. Shit,
Playing cards,
that
playing
is-
dominoes,
that is crazy out
smoking
there.
hookah.
that is
Oh
crazy
my
out there.
God. Drinking.
Have you ever had excuse me, have you ever had a problem where you walk into a barbershop? All right, so I'm gonna put it like this. Ever since the pandemic, everything is mostly by appointments, right? Now, after the pandemic, have you ever tried to do a walk-in a barbershop and kind of felt like nobody wanted to cut your hair?
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I haven't been to a barbershop since like I moved here. Like I'm always coming to him. So I wouldn't even know how that feels, to be honest.
That's something that I notice when people walk through the door, and they don't have an appointment. It's kind of more like, they kind of freeze, stop, and wait for someone to say something to them.
Like nobody want to talk to each other. Like I seen it happen here. Like a customer will come in and he's looking around like,
Yeah.
and then he goes and sit down. Like you just sat down, you didn't say nothing. Like if you like sometimes if you don't go and talk to them, they'll stay there. Like
No, that's
for
my
hours.
point. Like, what would make you think that, okay, I can't say nothing, I'm gonna just sit down and wait for someone to say to me?
I don't know, man. Like it's like nobody wants to be people no more.
I think that's what it
Nobody wants to be human.
is. And that's what I'm talking about. As far as the pandemic, it was like, you got people now that don't want to, address or talk to other people. Ever since the pandemic, it's kind of like,
Yo, before that, everybody would come up to your face like, yo, you know,
yo.
give me a cut, hug you and everything.
Next, right?
Yeah, like nobody wants to be human no more. You know what? You know what I actually think it is? Like having, like, social, like being social nowadays is looked at as being weird. Like, oh, see, he's a weirdo.
Why he
So I
talking
thi-
to me?
Yeah,
like
I think people's
I don't
afraid
know
of
you.
that.
now, how old are you?
33. I'm turning today.
Okay.
No, tomorrow.
33. Now, you remember back then, I don't know, maybe when you were like 16 years old,
Yeah.
and you wanted to talk to a girl, what would you have to do? You would write a little note, you go up to them and approach them.
Like usually wait till the bell rang, go in the hallway, try to say something slick. Feel me? Try to get them to pay attention. Like
hallway.
yeah, carry their books and stuff. Yeah, like be social.
Take
You
it
know,
to her locker.
And that's my point. Like now, they don't do
Yeah.
that, dude. Now it's like, I have a young son. He's 14 years old, and I'll go out with him. And to be honest, I'm sorry, if you feel like that way about this, if you watch the video, but and I'll see him looking at girls, and I'm like, yo, just go over there and talk to
Say
him.
something.
It's like, hell no, like, oh my god, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, what are you gonna do?
I don't
You know
want
what I mean?
They're doing it backwards. Remember, like for us, hitting a girl up without knowing her, it was being a weirdo. Now it's the opposite. Like you gotta go hit her up through the internet.
Yeah.
If not, because you know what it is, like whoever was born before the 2000s, for us the internet is not real. Like we don't even get mad about things that happen on the internet because to us it's not real. We have a disconnection. Like the Gen Zs, is that how they're called?
I don't even know anymore.
Whatever they are, like the younger people, for them the internet it's everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm like every other day I'm like, yo, what's gonna happen in 2 years when we don't
They
have
get
internet?
they get obsessed with it. It's,
Yeah, for them everything that happens on the internet is real, not for us. We see it completely different. I mean that's what I've noticed so far. Like my nephew, he's telling me that this dude said something to him. He said something back. In my head, I'm picturing like them face to face, almost about to fight. And then he tells me that it was on Instagram. I'm like, so why are you even mad about something that happened on Instagram? Like, you could have just delete the message. You feel me?
How do you know somebody's mad at you, right? If he doesn't put a mad emoji, how do you know someone's mad at you? Yeah, how do you know someone's
yes.
mad at you if they're texting you? You know what I mean?
You
Like,
don't hear any voice or anything like that. It's just like you're reading the words and why you talking
That's
to me
what
like
that's
that?
what I don't believe none of this cyber thugging. Like,
yeah.
you telling me you mad, but you took the time to go
To
in
write.
your emojis and look for the fist, and then you let me put a mad face, and then the fire, because I'm a man, you wanna see you. Like to me, that's not gangster at all, bro.
No, but how do you know that? Like, how do you know someone's bad? Like, I know when my wife is mad because I'll get a text message like this fucking loud. But yo, how do you know when someone's mad at you through an Instagram message? Like that's
Bro,
crazy
listen,
to me.
I'm still the kind of guy that if I want to go to a bank, even if I have the app and I have the time, I just go to the bank. I like
Yes.
face to face. You know how many times like people text me and I write laughing out loud, and I'm like dead serious in my house. Like I don't believe it. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't trust it. I try to do everything face to face, man, and that sucks because I'm trying to do content for the internet, but I don't trust it. I'm a '90s kid, man. I don't trust it at all.
I mean, it's better like for in person when you're like facing the person because you can look out their eyes. You might know how they feel by body language or anything like that. I think it's better too.
Another thing is, guys don't take it the wrong way, right? But let's say, for example, my car broke down, right? And I don't have money for a mechanic. Back then, I used to have to buy a book on the whole vehicle, follow instructions, right? On how to fix the thing. Sometimes now I feel that because of the internet, it's kind of taking that, I can't say common sense, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Common sense away from people on certain things. You're saying some of this new generation to go and do something, and if they can't look it up on YouTube, it's like the end of the world. They can't figure it out. And I think that it's kind of dumb in our this generation too, in a way, man. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'll send my kids and be like, look, go get me such and such. They'll open the cabinet. Where in the cabinet?
Look,
Like, yo,
it's on
move
the
some.
shelves.
I don't see it. Move some stuff around. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Look for it.
And I feel like sometimes with this new generation that it's slowly getting worse and worse, man.
That's one of the topics that I don't like talking about because I might come off a little preachy. But I remember when I was in high school, like in sophomore year, I went from ESL, is that ESL language, ESL classes
English as a second language,
to
yeah.
regular classes, and I had the same teacher, Mr. Sanchez, and I had him in Spanish, and then I had him in regular classes. So I noticed that he was a science teacher. Like what he was giving me in Spanish, dude, like some tough shit. Like I could never figure it out. When I go to regular classes, easy as hell. I became an A student when I went to regular classes. So I think on purpose they're dumbing it down. I don't know what's the purpose. I don't know why they're doing it, but he admitted to me that he had he had to like dumb it down basically. But he used other words, but he had to like by law.
So basically, what the curriculum that was given to him or that he has to follow is a lot less. I guess you can say
It makes
more.
it easier for
It
them.
makes it easier for for schools. That's crazy.
For some reason, like when I didn't know too much English, I had like 3 or 4 ESL classes. You ever had that?
No.
I don't know why, like back to back. Like say, like my schedule literally will say like
Oh, ESL 1, ESL 4.
ESL.
Oh yeah, because you get so
get, like,
like
3 or
everything is
4.
is ESL. Like math is not math. Math is still math, but like reading is ESL, writing is ESL. Like everything is ESL, and you go to all those classes, you get the same thing.
Okay, I
But
get
then but then math and Spanish is fucking crazy. Like the algebra, bro.
it.
What am I doing? Like, am I gonna fix the world by this? And then like you do it in regular class, and it's just like multiplying and what's the square root or something. Like it's so easy, man.
Like, hold on, I did this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
That's
easy,
crazy.
man.
Now, I got another question, right? What is the the one topic or the one video that you have out right now that is like probably your favorite or your favorite topic to talk about?
I'll tell you right now. The one that went viral. I don't even like using the word viral because I feel like 11 millions is not compared to today. It's nothing. But we were talking about like what's the easiest way for you to tell a girl? Like not the easiest way. What is the nicest way you could tell a girl that you wanna get down? You feel me? Without coming off as a
As a creep.
like a weirdo or creep. Like how do you do it? You feel me? Like how do you do it?
I got a wife. I got a wife. I don't do it.
You don't want to talk about it.
But even to the wife, because sometimes we gotta ask her. Like in my house, what I do is I ask her, you took a shower. Like I know it's going down already.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm gonna bring it up, dude. Like, I think it's harder sometimes, even with your wife, because
It
you
is.
you gotta set the mood. You gotta set, like if you got kids, you gotta make sure you took care of the kids.
And the bills gotta be paid.
Bro, son, like, yo, all right, ladies, listen, all right. You guys make it tough. I don't want to bring this. Fuck, all right, we're gonna do it. All right, you guys make it hard. First off, a lot of women out there want a man that's 6'5", right? That is in his 20s, that goes to the gym every day, right? That's a millionaire, that has no kids, that will pay for everything for you, and do all this stuff. But yet, when a man is earning that money and they're out there working and they're out there doing everything, you guys want him home also.
And you have to cause the orgasms too.
Like, so
How many things do you
it's-
want?
I mean, I'm looking at it as a dude, right? I'm looking at it as a business owner. I'm looking at it as a man that supports his family and things like that.
Yeah.
My wife, I'm very fortunate. She's an amazing woman. Everything that has to do with the house and everything else, like everything, she takes care of. She'll mow the lawn, she'll paint, she'll do construction. She does everything. She's an amazing woman. But I'm an amazing man because all I do is work and support my family and do everything that way. But when it comes to that, man, sometimes she's so exhausted. Sometimes I'm so exhausted, And I mean, we do it. Don't get it twisted, but sometimes it's a lot of preparation to get to that.
Bro, if women knew what we men go through, they'll be the one asking for our rights.
Yeah.
Give the men their rights. You know what I mean? Yeah,
No.
listen, like for a man, like just as soon as you wake up and you step out in the streets, it's war. Like at the light, like people want to get over you, and cause you're a guy, like and nobody like they want to get ahead of you. You go put gas, and the dude it's not being nice enough. You go to work, and there's somebody else that don't like you just for no reason, and it's just a lot.
By looking at you.
It's just a lot, and people want to fight you. Like it's surprising, but you still like. I drive a truck, so sometimes like I pull up to the gas station, and dudes want to fight for no reason. Just because you're a dude, I'm another dude. Like let's get at it. You feel me? And then you still gotta go home. You still gotta dedicate time, but you got another hustle on the side, and they'll get mad because you're not home enough. But if you stay home, like it's like you're not doing anything. You could be doing something. Like it's a lot.
Women is never satisfied. You ever thought of that? Like there's aspects in life that women is never satisfied. But
Yeah, no, I
if
agree.
they will know how many times we like, as a man, I feel like that we calculate more than women. Like,
Well-
we try to calculate steps like the things we want to do when you want to grow as a man, and like push your family forward. Like they don't get that part that we want to do like for them.
No,
and their
100% right.
family, you know. So
You know, and I'm not all women, but yeah, 100% right. My
Yeah.
thing is, all right, sorry, check this out. So let's say a man wins the lotto. I forgot where I heard this. The man wins the lotto. He wins millions of dollars. The first thing a man's gonna say is, "Thank God I can take care of my family." Right? I don't gotta work so hard. I can take care of my family.
true.
First
I
thing a
could be
lot of
home
women,
more.
first thing a lot of women are gonna say is, "Oh, I don't need a man." You get what I'm trying to say? So
80% of the time, I think it's gonna happen.
But I don't know why you went too far about the lotto. Like, give a girl a good job, but she makes 60 a year. Like, gone, bro.
no, yeah, you're right.
Every
need
day
a-
is girls' night out. Every day is girls' night out.
There's a lot. There's a lot out there.
Vacation.
You know, and it goes back to, you know, what we were just saying, like, you don't really realize how much a guy goes through.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, man.
I mean, it's when a man like
The
cares
things that we
about
don't-
his family.
It's that we don't complain about it.
Because there's guys that they don't care. Like they
Oh man, they leave. They don't get old. Like you see them today, you see them 20 years later, and they're like so fresh. Like
same
they
thing,
just woke up.
same
Yeah,
thing,
oh man,
every day.
I wish I was like that.
But it's
I
not
wish
that-
I
it's
wish I
not
didn't
that
care
easy.
enough.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't.
You know, to get to
I'll
that
take
point, it's like something different, though, but that's crazy.
I take it.
I don't complain. I try to just push forward, you know, and just deal with it.
But you don't tell me what's the best way for you to ask for it without asking for it,
Well-
without coming up as a creep. Like, what do you do, Mr. Smooth? I want to hear this.
Nah, actually, like when you have like a woman that she knows how you are.
Yeah.
We give them like tips. We start giving tips. Oh, I'll go take a shower. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll do things.
I'm gonna take the trash out.
I'll do things that I don't do on a daily basis. Like I
Put
got.
lotion and stuff.
That's where the thing is going. Like you start doing different things that you don't
Yeah.
do every day.
Uh-huh.
And they start catching on and
Looking for the underwear that fits better. Like, this Fruit of the Looms are dope,
facts.
They'll go to the back, start doing some push-ups or something real quick.
Get pumped up.
Or, no, but I think that's one of the things. Like we start doing like different things that you don't do on a daily basis, and they're catch on.
No, and
Right.
then you try, you kind of rub her back or whatever. Right?
Oh, you want a
and
massage
then
today?
and then, what are you doing?
You look weird today.
So you went through
What's
all
wrong
that
with
shit,
you?
right? You went through all that, and she's gonna be like, "Why are you touching me? Don't touch me." You're like, "Damn."
You gotta change the little bed under the sink. Oh man, now you want to talk about it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'd rather stay like that than go the other way. I'd rather deal with them.
You have to.
Like I said, man, it's my wife. She's amazing. She does a lot, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
it's
I just
just
wish I can
sometimes.
carry a little thing here that she could just watch to see what one goes throughout the day.
Yeah, we should do an experiment.
Yeah, right.
Let's do it.
Just do like a little live feed to her, to
Yeah.
a little monitor so you can see everything.
That'd be dope, man.
You get out of work and then you meet up with her and, well, how was your day?
I be
Why are you so
testing.
quiet? All right, so let's put it like this: we talk all day. All right, I'm not saying I don't love talking, but we talk to customers all day, right? So let's say I do 10 haircuts a day, and I got 9 other barbers that are doing 10 haircuts a day. That's 90 people that we come into contact with every single day, and by the time we get home and we get into our house or whatever we're eating
don't
our
wanna
dinner,
hear it.
we don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to talk. Like I'm exhausted from talking.
There's a song about it that I never understood until I got older. It was Ricardo Arjona, he's from Guatemala, whatever that is, and he said, "Let's be alone together." And I didn't understand what the song was about. You feel me? Until now that I get home and I'm like, "Be here, but don't talk. Like, just stay there." You feel me? Like, let's be alone together. Like, I fantasize about silence. That's crazy.
You ever got to your house, right? And like she's arguing, sending you mad texts, and then you get home, and you ask her, "What were you saying?" "Oh, nothing."
Bro. Women,
And she don't even want to discuss what she was trying to tell you
most
through the
women
text
are
or
not good at
through phone.
communicating.
Like they don't want to communicate. They don't want to say what was bothering them.
Or you get that
It's
message,
like,
"Hey,
fuck.
when you get home, we gotta talk."
I-
And it's
I-
like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're thinking all goddamn day, what the fuck happened?
I'd rather those than getting the long text because I don't read them anyways. Like,
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
listen what happened to me once. My who was my girl at the time, she sent me a text, but it was too long. I know it said, "Hey babe, how you doing?" And at the end it said, "I love you," right? And then 2 days and I don't
What
hear about
news?
her.
all he understood was, "Hey, babe," and "I love you." He thought everything was good.
2 days I don't know nothing about her. I call her the first the
Disappear
call's
type
not
stuff.
going through. I go and read the message. She broke up with me. I didn't even read it because he was in the middle of the text, but it was too long. Like dead ass. I don't read it. Like,
Wow.
it could be my mother. I would not read it. I hate reading, bro. Like, don't ever send me a long text. So I'd rather you tell me when you get home. When we get home, let's talk. Because usually those that send you the long text, like he said, when you approach him about it, like let's talk about it, they don't want to talk.
They don't feel
'Cause
like
they
talking
just
about it anymore.
they already told you everything they wanted to say over the text. We don't care about the text because we don't even read them. We want to see how you say it face to face. Say it to my face. That's all I want you to do.
Or
But
how they
but they-
feel about it. Like,
yeah,
you
but
know.
they don't like it for some reason.
You know, and it's nothing bad that you want to get home and, like you said, you just want that silence. And to be honest, I don't even want the silence. I just don't want to talk.
But it's not even for long. Cause you know what I've noticed when when there's something that happens during the day that I think she has to know or that I want to tell her before I go to sleep. It doesn't matter when exactly. Like I will tell you.
Yeah.
You feel me? If nothing interesting happened, the day went by like as a regular day, there's nothing for me to say. But if I got an interesting call, like my boss says something at work, something happened, I will tell you. It's just don't ask me right away when I get home. Like let me eat, let this sink.
It's
And
like
we'll talk about it.
it's like timing. We have
Like
timing
I like talking
for
right before I go to
communicating.
sleep.
It's like
some
we got
reason.
timing for communicating, but like they probably want you to get home and tell them all how many traffic lights you hit.
Because
Everything,
that's what
like,
they do.
you know.
When we make it home, they can't wait to get home to start talking.
Yeah.
Like look at your
Both,
lady.
yeah.
It happens a lot. And we just operate completely different.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, and I don't mind that. It's just me doing the talking is what's kind of hard. And you know, and Bae, if you watch this video, it's nothing against you. You know, it's just
just
sometimes
the
I
way
get
you are.
tired of talking all day.
I don't want to do the talking. I don't want to do the listening. Like I don't want to do
He
nothing.
just wants
Like
quiet.
I just want to take a nap. Let me edit a few videos. I'll take a shower. Then we go. And before I go to sleep, we could talk about 15 minutes or so.
Oh man, all right, man. That's funny. So what about you? What do you do?
I drive a truck for a living.
No, I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh man,
Like I don't think that's the first.
I'm trying to be slick, man. It it depends, cause like when I'm like in my house now, like all I care about is like, are the kids sleeping? Like and I, like I know
It's
if
harder. It's harder.
I know if she's wearing some type of cologne or perfume when she comes out the shower. Like I know, like we already know.
Mhm.
You feel me? Like, but back then it was harder because, let's say you being single, that's when you really gotta get creative and you home by yourself
Yeah.
and you trying to get a girl to come over. How do you do that? Like that's when it gets exciting. You feel me?
You know, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. We're gonna get back to that,
Yeah.
okay? But women, all right. So when you're a couple and you guys are together for so long, sometimes it's not about the man not being creative or anything like that. You'll have a woman and she'll be like, "Well, do you remember those days I used to put rose petal on the bed or do this or take me out and do that? You don't do that no more." It's not that we don't want to do it. It's just that sometimes it's a hassle. You know, you got all your work days crazy. You know, whatever day you know your girl had has been insane. On top of that, you got to put the kids to bed. You got to do this. You got to find a
We got
babysitter.
roles. Like
You know what I mean? Like it's not the same as before.
she
You know
has
what I
her
mean?
role. You have
you
her
know what
role.
it is?
You know.
How hard was it for you to get a picture back in the 90s?
Very hard.
Cause you gotta go buy a camera,
Uh-huh.
get a roll. Is that how it's
Film,
called?
the
Like
film.
get the film.
Reel it.
Take the pictures. You didn't know how it was gonna come out. Then you go take it to a Walgreens. They'll give you a little bag with all the pictures in it, right?
Uh-huh.
Imagine if nowadays, having all these phones and cameras, we were doing the same. That's the same thing with the wives. Like I didn't have you, so I had to do all that. You feel me? I had to do the rose petals. I have you now, so I go through the trouble. That's all I'm saying.
For us, it's like the excitement of like the process that we gotta do to get. To
But you
So,
already
we
here.
already
Like
did
you
it,
live in
so,
my
like,
house.
you know?
Like we're in the same bed. Why would I go through that?
You know, like
you feel me?
like you got to go and spend more money.
Yeah.
You know, like you're already paying rent somewhere,
Like,
or
you don't do
own
enough for me.
something, or a mortgage. Why do I gotta go and rent the hotel room? Like, why can't we tell everybody else to get the fuck out the house? You know what I'm trying to say?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I get it. No, hell yeah, you're right.
No, but they want romantic stuff every time.
I mean, I could be romantic every once in a while. I could put like some type
Exactly.
of
Every,
music.
every
like,
once in a while, we could do that, but
like I'll cook something for you and stuff. But
Or-
like, let's be honest. Once you get married, you don't have the time to get as creative as before. Because now you gotta like. They don't want to hear this, but when we work, we don't care how much money she makes. We know we're working for the house. You feel me? So
so
I'm working for you. I'm working for the kids. Whatever money you make, you could go and buy curtains with that or whatever. So we might feel a little stressed because we out here like our money, everything we do becomes for the house. So we might be a little stressed to like go and buy rose petals and stuff. That's how I see it.
You know, don't get it twisted. I still buy flowers every now and then, like just out of the blue. But it's, you know, it's true what he says, and especially if you know it's someone like us. I mean, I don't know. You don't work a 9 to 5 either. You never really know exactly your schedule, correct?
No.
On top of that, you over here, you're filming, you're doing a bunch of other things. Same thing like us. We're going to shows, you know, where you go to shows. So it isn't just okay, 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I'm done with work. You're gonna have times where you don't know what time you're coming home. You don't know your hours. I used to try to set a day, Sundays, for just me and her to go do anything, just whatever it was. I'd take her. Just sometimes we would just go to store to store, to store to store. But you know, we decide we want to go to a show. What day does it fall on? A Sunday. You know, so then that comes into play. It's like, okay, well, we didn't do our Sunday thing.
Yes, we
Monday. No, but she, you know, I try to bring her to these expos and I try to get her involved with things. I'm not saying she doesn't like it, but
they don't
It's just
enjoy
not her
it as
thing.
much as we do. Like,
Well, the reason why I'm recording like once a month is because of that. Because there's 4 Sundays, and I said let me get one of those because the other days I'm working, and I'll do my recording. I edit during the week, and so out of 4 Sundays a month, I'm getting one, and she says that I'm not home enough.
still
One
complain.
Sunday, that's all I ask for. Give me one Sunday. I drive to Jersey, record and come back, and she think that's a lot.
so hold on. You go to Jersey like just to film?
Yeah, one Sunday a month.
That's tough.
And before that, I used to do it more than that.
More
You
than that.
imagine where you would be right now if you if you filmed once a week at least?
Yeah, I'm actually building a studio right across the street where he used to live.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So,
dope.
so now they're gonna have to do the driving. I'm done. I did it for 3 years. I'm done now.
No, hey, that's dope. No, good for you, man. Because that's just imagine if you did it once a week or twice a week.
No, I do post twice a week, but I record once a month.
Okay.
He tries to record.
So you
Yeah,
kind
like-
of break it down, you know,
Yeah, like-
different
Have
topics and do
content.
recording
Yeah, like we'll
for the
sit
whole
down
day.
on a Sunday, like starting 11, and sometimes it's like 12
Oh,
o'clock at night,
Oh
and
wow,
we're still there like shooting, like drinking and stuff.
that's
But
dope.
I come out of there with like a lot of content, like a lot. He's
No,
been
that's
there.
dope.
It
No,
gets
good for you.
crazy.
It's fun. It's
It
fun.
gets crazy.
No, that's dope. That's a good idea too.
Yeah. And
Now, do you
for the
find
whole
it?
month.
All right, once a month isn't bad. But do you find it difficult to try to organize and get everybody together on a certain day, or is that something that's just set in stone? Boom, on this day every month.
Yeah, like I'll let them know at least 2
Ahead
weeks
of
prior.
time, yeah.
Yeah, that Sunday we're on. So I mean, like in the summer it's harder because everybody got shit to do. Like they're going to the beach and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it goes so smooth, man. Like when you don't have to see us often.
Yeah.
Like once I move it here, I'm gonna do the same thing. Like come here once a month. I'm gonna build another team here. Like I'm gonna have them talk about sports and stuff.
That's dope.
So we're basically gonna record every week, but they're gonna
Different
come once a
things.
month. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just easier, man. For
No,
people.
that's dope because you got that whole month to build and write stuff down and think about what the topic is going to be and wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, you got a whole month of stuff. To
Well,
do.
yeah, once I get there on Sundays, like I have a list of all the things I want to ask them and say, and if something happened to a certain artist, and I could do a video, and that's the first one that's gonna come out. I got time to plan myself. It's good.
That's dope.
I wish I
Once
could
a
do it every day and do it live and stuff, but since I don't have the time or the money right now,
Yeah.
that's working out for me.
No, that's dope.
Nah, that's good. You always gotta accommodate yourself. However, you can do it. You know, we do it once a week. So
Like I tried going back to DJ and doing this at the same time. Damn, that's a lot. There's a lot. I don't have the time, man.
you'll get probably stressed of so much work.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
How long you been DJing for?
I started in 2012,
Hmm.
13. Actually, I've been a DJ my whole life, basically. I just didn't know it.
Hold on. I don't know how. I wonder why that was. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't know what a DJ was. I never even heard of the term.
Okay, so you
DJ.
were okay. So all right, I get it.
'Cause
I
the thing
thought
is
you
that-
meant like I had it in me my whole life.
No, like
And
like
I just didn't know.
my brother bought this like huge speakers, right, and amp and a whole bunch of stuff. So since we had the loudest, I guess, music system, because back then everybody had a music system in their house. My friends, my mother's friends, they would call me to do their parties, right? So I've been doing parties since I was like probably 11 or 12. But when a friend of mine, he bought a club or he rented a club. He was like, "Yo, I need a DJ. You gotta be the DJ, dude. What the hell is a DJ? I didn't even know what a DJ was." So then I bought my equipment. I started practicing, and that's when I became a DJ in 2012.
That's dope. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so
I
my
did-
bad. I misunderstood.
Yeah, and I did that for 8 years till 2020 when the pandemic hit.
That's pretty cool.
Make some good money. Can't complain.
And that's all at night times too.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of private parties that were like day parties, but mostly nights. Like that's how I gained so much weight. I wasn't eating right. My sleeping habit went crazy, went nuts. Like it wasn't healthy for me. Like it wasn't working. That's why, like, when I had to like the time to reinvest myself, I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, no. That working nights or doing separate, like different shifts, or sometimes you're working during the day and working at night. Like that stuff takes its like I don't believe any human is made to work nights, dude. Like that's just my thing.
And I was just
It's
doing
very
that.
stressful.
I did DJing. Like I used to work for DirecTV, but then I quit like in 2014. So from there to 2020, I was just doing a DJ thing. The thing is that I used to get a lot of money, like in a good weekend. So then he brought me here. So I was doing PA and New Jersey, New York. I would probably do like $3,000 in a weekend.
That's dope.
And then Monday I was broke again. I spent it all, like buying bottles, women. Broke, no money.
He said, "I'll show you how." What was it? Spaz says, "I'll show you how to go from $3,000 to nothing real quick, to zero real fast."
Bro, I did that in 2 clubs. Like I would get like I remember I came here once with him, and he got me like he got me a mean party, like Christmas, New Year's party
No
actually
years,
was.
no years.
And that day I made like $900. The next day I had like $20 in my pocket.
Wow.
Don't ask me how, man.
So hold on. So how does that work? Do you don't get drinks for free while you're DJing? I'm assuming, right?
You do. You get a few drinks here and then. Like whenever the bartender feels like you need another drink, but like we drink a lot. Like like me and him have 2 bottles, like chilling, just like we drink a lot.
Wow.
So if we had like a few people there, a few women came by,
Two
we
bottles
chilling.
turn into 10 real quick.
Ooh, like nothing, bro. Easy. And each bottle is like 150. And Patterson, like a bottle could go up to 300.
He's looking at me like he don't know me, so
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just wondering why he's so quiet. He's over there nodding like this.
This dude gets real wild. Yeah.
No, I can imagine. He's too quiet.
It's fun though. You have you been a barber all your life?
No, I've done, man, everything. Telemarketing, plumbing, dispatching. I've done tons of different things. I always like
why
cutting
stick to
hair.
barber?
Excuse me.
Why stick to barber?
I always liked cutting hair. It wasn't until my kids were grown and I said, you know what, the hell with working for somebody else, that I was really like, you know what, this is what I'm going to stick with. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's something I want to ask you, right? Because I'm trying to build a company. I mean, actually this is the YouTube is my fourth attempt at building a company. I already tried like 3 other times and I failed.
What do you mean, like you and your team?
No, like me, like trying to have a business. YouTube is my fourth time. Like I had a tobacco distribution company.
Okay.
I failed massively. Before that I had a It was a Contar production. It was a DJ, sending DJs to places.
Yes.
I I couldn't keep up. Then no, before that I had an event party. I had photographers, DJs, girls, dances, everything. I also quit. So my question to you is, how you go from being a barber to owning a barbershop, and what do you do so you don't give up in the middle? Because it's a lot of work. Like just opening the CCL, what is it?
LLC.
LLC.
LLC, just that. It could
Tough.
it could
It's
be
tough.
it could be a lot of work.
It's not, the LLC is not really hard, dude, because you can always hire someone to do it. Um,
Not everybody got the money or know who to go to.
well, I mean,
That was my
everything.
problem.
Yeah, no. Now I learned on YouTube. Um, Unfortunately, when I grew up, I didn't have someone to tell me how to manage money, um, or how to do certain things. So a lot of this stuff, believe it or not, man, I learned on YouTube. You know, how to open up an LLC, how to open a barbershop. You know, I would take basically, you know, make an outline. First thing I got to do is this. Second thing I got to do is this. Third thing I got to do is
So you
this.
kind of projected yourself.
And then I kind of revamped it. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to start an LLC until I'm 100% sure I want to open a barbershop. Once I was 100% sure I wanted to open a barbershop, the next thing was, okay, now that I'm opening a barbershop, if I want more employees, I got to get to the level that is that no matter what it is, even if they don't take if they don't work in by appointments, that I got to be booked out enough that I can feed them as well. What I mean by that is, let's say I got 10 appointments on a Tuesday. I got 5 people hitting me up to come Tuesday. I don't have room, but you know, for those 5 people, I can go and say, look, I got such and such here. Come see him. You know, so I had to make sure I had enough clientele to be like, look, go to this person, go to that
So
person,
distribute.
and you know, basically they were comfortable enough where they can go to anybody in the barbershop. Once I got to that point, it was like, okay, now I got 4 or 5 people. Um, you know, they start growing. I'm pushing them. Look, do this, do that. I'm sending people their way. They start getting busy enough where they're like trying to send people to the other people. And now it's like, okay, now I got 4 people here that are booked out and we can't do walk-ins. Now it's time to grow. And then from there, just keep building, you know. I found that it was easier, not just easier, I find that it's better once you set rules and so on and so forth on your barbershop, right? It's easier for you to have people that you're teaching, you know, because a lot of the barbers I have, they weren't all just barbers. They just came and they knew exactly what they were doing, you know.
I was going there now. Like, do you do quality control? And I'm
Yeah.
asking for this reason. Like, if I go to a barbershop and the haircut is messed up or they burn my face or whatever, I might not go back to the barbershop. But it's not the owner's fault. It's just the experience I had was messed up enough for me to not come back, even though it was a new barber. So my question to you as a barbershop owner, do you do quality control? Like if you have a barber, he's been here for like the longest and he's not good, will you kick him out or how does that work?
You know, it's happened before, and I'm not saying we kicked them out or anything like that, but you know, we try to help them. So unfortunately, you have some barbers that when they get to a point where they have some clientele, they don't want to take criticism, you know. And we all here, we all, I can't say criticize, but we all let each other know certain things sometimes without taking offense. Some people do take offense. So let's say you're doing a haircut, you know, it's a barber that, you know, he did a haircut and it came out messed up. Um, I would try and stop it, you know?
They're
Like, look,
not
listen,
walking out.
hold on a second, you know? Come back. I tell the barber, look, you see this, this, that, and that, and the third. Oh, we got to fix this. You got to do that. Um, Sometimes the barbers get mad at you. You know, they feel, oh, no, he likes it that way. And I go, you know, sometimes it's like, well, he doesn't know better. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Um, and it's funny that you said that customers, like walk-in customers or customers, unfortunately, they're not gonna go and say that so and so cut their hair. They'll be like, I went to the barbershop.
N.Y.O. Barbershop.
You know, so I always keep that in the back of my head as far as that because it's basically that's our name. And I'm not gonna say me, but it's the shop's name that's on there. Even if Chris didn't even if Chris or one of the other guys didn't cut that guy's hair, it's still gonna fall back on them because they're under that name. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So we try our best, and sometimes if it's not me, I'll have Chris kind of like regulate that, or I'll have one of the other guys kind of look. If you ever see something wrong, let me know, and we all judge each other's things. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with Chris coming up to me sometimes and be like, look, you left a little line here or something like that. But as far as cuts and stuff like that, man, you cut somebody, dude. Like one, that's a free haircut. Two, I mean, it's one thing to have a little like pimple and you can nick somebody, but when you do a full on cut, that's just carelessness. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I feel you.
And that's the difference. Most people don't realize that you can have a little pimple, or sometimes just your pores alone will open up and it'll look like blood.
Yeah.
You probably, if you shave in here, you probably,
Ooh.
right? It looks like red
Disaster.
dots all over the place.
Disaster.
But the experience will tell me that. Like I can look at it right now and be like, okay, I'm not gonna go in there because
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But there's a difference between cuts and something like that.
Yeah, I from what I've seen, because I've been here a lot of times, like I like the environment you guys create for yourselves. Like this dude, like going out to events where you guys compete, and they say not you guys win, like the other guy win, and you guys celebrated like it's our win. So
Yeah.
I think you guys are doing an amazing job out here. I like what you guys do.
No, it's always something that we all kind of support each other. You know what I mean?
You don't see that often, and at least not in the barbershop world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other shop that we were talking about where I started, the owner always said something to me that it always stuck with me. He's basically said, if you create an environment, right, where everybody's got each other's back, right, and let's say you're having a slow day, or if I'm having a slow day, and you got people that you can't get to, you're like, look, you ask the other barber that you guys will be unstoppable. Nobody will be able to compare to that. And I always kept that in my head. And I was like, when I open a shop, I want it to be like that.
Shit, I'm gonna use that for my team. I like
That's
that.
why what you said it goes back. Oh, how do you say
Goes back.
goes back to what you said, because it's easier to like grow a barber than having a barber come in and like it takes a lot. Like there's barbers with like different personalities, like different things with like um skills. That's the word I was looking for. Like
And then setting their
but
ways is
if
what you
they-
mean, I think.
Yeah, if they learn here, like they're gonna learn more from you and us. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna know exactly what we need as a barber, than rather come in and like have somebody have their own ways already.
Do you feel like working here changed you in any way?
Yeah, a lot. I had to learn more discipline. I didn't have no patience at all to deal with people. Like kind of, I learned that a lot. I learned more skills because I was alright, but I wasn't quite enough.
That's dope.
Now, what is the one thing, right? I know we've touched on this before. If there was one thing you can change in the shop, what would it be?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I thought you said.
No, not him.
I feel like we already talked about that. I'm kind of having like deja vu. But I always say that like the way like people think about barbers, like people think that every barber is a drug dealer, or like they're doing something in the barbershop like to get more money. You
Yeah.
get it? Like that's something I don't think I'll change.
Let me ask you something. How do you see barbers? Do you see barbering as a profession, or do you see it as more like a
Hustle.
hangout spot, a little hustle?
Dude, listen. I think there's a list of careers you can do, and all the way in the fucking bottom is DJs and barbers.
Really?
Yeah, because let's go to numbers. How many barbers have you met your entire life? Like, if you could put a number, would you say 300, 400? Like, just a number.
Yeah. Let's say
Let's
200.
say 200.
Yeah.
How many of those are scumbags, like low lives? Would you say like at least 50%?
See, I can't say that because
No?
I don't judge people that way.
No, no, no,
Unless-
no. I don't mean it like because they could be good, like a good person. But how many of those will you say they're irresponsible? If they don't have, if they
Yes,
don't gotta
okay.
show up, they won't
Correct.
show up.
About 50%.
About 50%.
Yeah.
Like that's how we come off. Like, And I didn't notice that until somebody asked me, "How do you see barbers?" Not long ago, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Just like they see DJs, and that's when I realized. But it has nothing to do with the barbers. It's how everybody sees us.
See, that's the thing. Like, there's like now that I came into this world of barbershops, like it's two different words.
Like just yesterday, he was there. Like some people gave me respect that never like me being a DJ would even like talk to me, and they acknowledge the way they acknowledged me yesterday because they saw me like doing something different. It's completely different. I think that's something you guys can work on, but
They look
as
at you different.
as you
different
guys
and
work
stuff.
on it, there's 120 barbers more working against it. That's the problem.
You know, and I think you're 100% right. You know, those people, just like in every profession, actually, you got people that even doctors. Okay, doctors get sued for malpractice all the time. Um, you have lawyers that are probably some of the worst people on the planet. You know, they have no conscience. They don't care. They can go home and sleep at night knowing that they put a 17-year-old kid in prison. So that goes with every profession. You know, it's just that barbering is just easier to talk about. You know that.
And it seems easy. Like everybody thinks, oh, I could be a barber.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You
You
know,
try it.
all this stuff we've talked about before. You know, like that's exactly what I would like to change with barbering.
I
It's
wanted
the
to
way
be a barber
people see
once.
that.
I don't know if I told them. I was so broke.
Not yet.
I was broke as hell. The DJ wasn't going well. And the only thing I had was my boy. He was at a barbershop. I was like, yo, if I could do a barbershop and then I could just DJ on the side. And just the first day, like they were telling me about numbers and do the 3 and the 1.5, and then you blade here. I was like, what? This is like math. This is like math for me. Like I too many numbers. Bro. It's not as easy as it looks.
Nah, it's tough when you're learning and stuff.
You know, a lot of people don't realize, right? Check this out. So let's say to become a nurse, right?
Yeah.
Let's say to become a nurse, you take a student. A lot of people take student loans out. You know, so let's say maybe about $200,000 is what they, you know, how much do nurses make now a year? Let's say
I like 40,000,
50.
55.
So let's say $60,000 a year, right? So they spent over $200,000 just to become a nurse to make $60,000 a year, right?
I did the math. When I went to a school, it didn't add up. I was like, okay, so the school loan is how much?
Yes,
And you make how much?
yes.
And you're gonna pay for it for
Think
how
about
long?
how long that's going to take you to pay that off, right?
Goodness.
So to become a barber, if you go to a school that's charging freaking at a skyrocket price, you're probably paying about $30,000, right? $30,000 for you to become a barber. You get into a barber shop, equipment wise, you're spending just to start maybe $2,000-3,000, right? So you're looking at tops maybe $35,000, right? Just to start. Um, your first year, actually your first 4 or 5 years are gonna suck. All right, you're not gonna make much money. You're not. That's a building process, okay? Just like any business, they tell you, look, for the first 5 years, you shouldn't look for any return on your investment. After those 5 years, I know barbers now that have been doing it 5 years, 4 years, 7 years. Some that's been doing it 9 years that are making over $100,000 a year. Over $100,000 a year.
Well, I have 7 years, and half of that is what I've been doing, like on like a full-time job as a barber. Only half of that, like 3 years.
Yeah.
Before, like my
was on
first
and off?
4 years was always having like a different job.
Yeah.
Amazon. Then I stopped for like 1 year when trucking came back. I had to get another job, a side hustle, because I wouldn't make much money. So like I would say just doing barbershop like alone, full time. I've been out of 7 years. I've been working like 3 years.
And that's the process that people don't think
That's how
about.
hard it is.
That's yeah.
Not everybody have the same
but
process,
it's-
but it's tough.
It's just how unreliable some barbers are.
And
It's sad, but it's true.
and
man.
that's it. Then it goes back to because of that process, right? So a lot of these barbers that you see that are irresponsible and that they don't want to be in the barber shop. If the barber shop opens at 10, they're walking in at 3 o'clock. these are the barbers that can't um, go through that process,
And
right?
that's why I asked you about quality control, because I I used to get haircuts twice a week when I was a DJ, and you don't know how many times I had to wait outside of the barbershop for the barber to get there. Like if I have a party at 3, and you said you're gonna give me a haircut at 2, I need that haircut by 2.
Yeah.
You know how many times I would show up late to a party because of a barber. So I know, like, I didn't know before until I try to do that, and now I see the way he treats a barber like it's an actual career, and it's getting there.
The
'Cause
thing, the
also
thing is
YouTube,
that
is helping. Like, everybody sees the struggle of a barber, and what you're doing here now too,
Yeah.
is you're gonna amplify that voice,
Yeah.
because barbers have to be this world. You listen, think about this. There's like just from the 2020 to now, the world changed like what, like
70%.
200%. I'll say 200%.
No,
Like, short videos didn't
I was
exist.
trying to not
Nah.
exaggerate, you know.
Short content didn't exist. The way we use the phones, the way we use the microphones.
No,
The
everything
only
now
thing
is
that's
short
still the same since we can even remember is a barbershop.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
means
kind of.
this is one of the oldest career, and people are, I think they're gonna start to see it now. 'Cause
You know,
you guys are
get
helping
you
that.
can't get AI to cut somebody's hair.
You can't. It's gonna mess up. It's gonna blow a whole bunch of pimples and stuff.
Well, the thing
You're
is
gonna work out
that
half
we
a
are
year.
professionals. We are a, how do you say,
A profession.
a profession. The thing is that because of you barbers that don't show up in time, that do different things that takes us like down the drain, and we get discriminate. That's why people think that we are not professionals, but we are. We go to seminars, we educate ourselves. We don't stop learning. We go to shows, and that's why I say it kind of feels like it's two different worlds.
But
If there's something that you just can't get out of your head, an idea, or you know whatever it is, you know that
Go for it.
go for it. And there's a reason why it's in your head, and there's a reason why you can't stop thinking about it. It's a reason why you get anxious. And these were one of these ideas that we've had. I don't even know, like maybe about a year ago.
We got
what we did last night was a product of that. There's this club in Jersey. They do like they select a girl every year to be the face of the club.
Like the,
Yeah, like Chica Bonfire.
Mhm.
And I was like, yo, I should be the media for that. You feel me?
You know what I noticed last
And
night?
we
That-
showed up. We showed up yesterday, and we got that done. I'm about to go edit now, and it was that. I had it in my head. I was like, I'm not gonna let it go. Who I gotta text? Who I gotta call? I had my sister, the producer, like, hit everybody up. Like, we gotta be in there, and it happened. Like, I have to be stubborn with your vision, but flexible with the details. That's what I'm working on now.
Nice, I like that. You know what I was thinking? That's like kind of Nuestra Belleza Latina type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of like
Yes, started like that.
What if that grows and you grow with
You,
it? Like,
I
you
hope,
never
I hope
know,
it does.
you know?
Hope it does.
but it's true, man. Like you said it. You know,
That's
that
a
was one
step
of those
forward.
things that you would like. Look, man, I should do it. You should do it. You did it, and I'm pretty sure next year they're gonna do it again. Year after
Every
that again, and the first person that you're the one. You know what I mean? So, don't stop, dude. You know, like whatever idea it is, and my wife and my kids, I put through some stuff, bro. Like, some stupid ideas. My kids, I've used as models with some craziness. You know, I put my wife through a lot of stuff just so because of that bullshit. Of me, an idea I had or whatever the case is. But
Dude, I had his kids and my kid doing a YouTube video because I wanted to start a YouTube kid channel. I was like, it's a lot of work. I can't do it. But if I have an idea, I'll get it out of my system.
yeah,
Even if it doesn't work, I'll try it.
and that was my thing too. I had the idea. We started one, but even before that, man, like, dude, like this what we're doing right now, I would never have done before. I've always been, shy behind the camera. I hated talking.
Oh shit! Before I forget, you know what somebody told me? This dude said when a baseball player he gets, you probably know more than me. How many out of 10 pitches? How many times you got to bat for you to be a good player?
Three times
Three?
out of 10.
3 out of 10.
You're an all-star when you hit it 3 times.
All right, so 3 out of 10 means you failed 7 times,
Yeah.
and you only got it right 3 times, and you still get a couple millions when you signed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what we're doing now. Like I know there's ideas that I have that they're stupid as hell,
Get them
but I
out
know
there.
there's a few.
Swing at it.
I know, yeah, I know there's
Get
a
them
few
out
that are
there.
gonna
It's
get
like
that are gonna work off it.
You know, at first nobody really saw that vision. Nobody really saw like what I saw, you know, and my wife stuck with it. She stuck with me. My kids stuck with me. You know, there was times where I would pick my kids up in a. I had this little Plymouth, whatever, Sunfire, whatever it was. It was beat to shit, you know. And I would pick them up in school, and they would be embarrassed for me to pick them up, you know. But they stuck with me, you know. They basically pushed. And I can say now we're a lot better. You know what I'm trying to say? They
That's dope,
actually,
man.
after a while, they were kind of like, now I see what you're trying to do, you know? And at first, like, they were like, what the fuck? Well, you're going to become a barber? What kind of money you decide? You know what I mean? Like, how you going to.
That
they don't
kind of
make no
goes
money.
back to what I was saying. Like, if women knew like the things we calculate and the things we like have in our brain just to grow and like have the family push forward, like they'll probably appreciate us a little bit more.
You know,
Yeah, it's a lot.
and don't get it twisted. There was, like I said, you know, my wife, she put on a belt, buckled up her pants, went to work, you know, and we, you know, together as a team, we were able to get to where we're at now. You know what I mean?
And grow.
You know the phrase when people say that the money is the root of all evil, stuff like that, and whoever gets the money, like they become assholes. I think people that go through what you want when you get the money, that's like when you get the like the good like the happy ending on the movie. You feel me? Like yo, this dude went through a lot, but look where he's at
Accomplish.
now.
Yeah.
Like I like those type of stories, man. Like
You know, and a lot of people don't know that, man, because that's something I really don't tell everyone. But um, it was it was a struggle, dude.
Life,
I ain't gonna
life
lie.
is about sacrifices.
when
and
I
stuff,
moved
you know,
here,
so.
I had a Corolla '93, something like that.
3, 4,
Yeah, something like that. So like no brakes. It was leaking fuel. It was it was insane, bro. I was like, yo, we going to PA. Jersey's too much. Like I'm not doing very good out here. Let's go. And she did the same. She buckled up. She said, let's go. Appreciate that.
You know, like we were doing good in New York. In New York, we was doing good, man. I was living 10 minutes away from the beach, and whatever. We were doing good, right? We came out here. Things in New York started getting very expensive, right? So we came out here. We're like, all right, we need to try to find a house to buy. You know, we saw that it was a nice little area to raise kids. It was nothing like what it is now. You know what I mean? And so she moved out. I was still working in New York, so I would work from 7 o'clock in the morning till like midnight. And on Friday after work, Friday I would get out at about 8 o'clock. Friday after work, I would drive up this way. So I'd stay Saturday and Sunday here, and then I would go back into New York on Monday morning. And I did that for 5 years. One day I just got tired of it. I saw my kids growing up. I saw them walking around, running around, talking, you know, and it was like one day to another to me. My wife was like, "You don't see all the shit you're missing?" You know, my wife started school, and then like sometimes there was days where it was my kids were young and they were home alone, and you know, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm fucking 3.5 3 hours away, three
Yeah,
and
so
a half
that's a
hours
big
away."
sacrifice, bro.
You know, and finally I got tired of it, and I was like, you know what, this is the money really just it's not worth it. You know, I came out here, started doing plumbing, um, warehouse work, you know, stuff like that, and it was doing all right, but I hated it. You know what I mean? I hated it, man. And then finally, I was like, you know what, the hell with it. You know, I'm gonna stick with something I like doing, and I did. I lost a lot, sacrificed a whole lot, dude. But you know,
That's dope.
that's kind of how it went. You
Stuff
know what I
like
mean?
that make it worth it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Now I wake up every day happy as hell to come to work. You know, I love what I do. I love the environment. I love the guys I work with. We're like a family here, and
You still don't sleep, man.
yeah, I sleep. I sleep good.
You
Um,
don't sleep.
but you know, I like what I do. You know, I go home now and I'm gonna spend a couple hours on the PC. You know what I mean?
come
Like,
back. 8 in the morning
I
is
left my house like on when was it, Saturday morning, and I just got back now from Jersey, and now I gotta go back into a room and edit. It's crazy, but I love it.
Yeah.
I like it.
you know, and that's something that we were talking about before. You know, um, how the question you asked about how do you get your girl to whatever, right? But sometimes women don't really see all of that. Um, I share everything and I tell everything to my wife. There's nothing. I don't hide nothing from her. You know what I mean? But like those sacrifices, things that happen in a day. The fact that there was like 6 people here I had to argue with. The fact that I don't know, maybe one of the barbers wasn't feeling good or couldn't pay their rent. There's lots of different situations, lots of different things. I got into an argument with a customer on the phone. Um, anyway, that's another other story. All that stuff that goes on throughout the day, and you go home and you don't want to lay that on her too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it goes back to that too. Like they don't
We
really
try to
see
leave it
everything.
out the house.
Yeah.
Don't bring none of that negative shit in here.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. Y'all stay tuned for another one. Y'all be safe. Peace.